After Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, 13 states passed laws restricting or outright prohibiting abortion. At 6 weeks into a pregnancy, before most women even realize they're pregnant, Georgia bans abortion. Abortion rights activists have filed lawsuits in numerous jurisdictions to overturn restrictive laws. People are still able to get abortions through some unspecified means. Before we go ahead, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for further updates. Here is a video on pilots airlifting patients out of red states to get abortions. In an effort to provide access to reproductive health care for people living in states where it is prohibited or severely restricted, hundreds of pilots are volunteering to fly patients across state lines. The program to find pilots and match them with patients is coordinated by the Illinois-based nonprofit Elevate Access. Organizations like Planned Parenthood and the National Abortion Federation refer patients to Elevate Access. After Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court in June, the number of volunteer pilots for the initiative increased significantly. According to the New York Times, the decision to remove federal protections means that most abortions are now prohibited in at least 13 states, which has increased the number of women who must travel outside of their state. One of the many volunteer pilots, Stephen, claimed that to help a stranger access reproductive health care, he once picked them up in his single-engine aircraft and flew them more than 1,000 miles across state lines. He was only aware of time and place. Stephen is one of the hundreds of US pilots who volunteer their small aircraft to transport customers traveling from states where abortion is prohibited to those where it is not to receive services such as abortions. Stephen finds the work of Elevated Access ironic. Following the leak of the Supreme Court decision in May, he made the decision to get involved after reading an article about Elevate Access, according to The Guardian. I wasn't looking to do it, but when I read that, I thought, wow, this sounds like something I care about, in a way that I could be very useful as a pilot. I wasn't looking to do it, but in fact, Elevated Access has noticed a significant increase in volunteer pilots since the Supreme Court formally removed federal abortion protection rights in June, with 870 pilots offering to transport patients across state lines for abortion and gender-affirming care. The initiative has so far led to hundreds of missions that were a success. Traveling across state lines can be costly, time-consuming, and dangerous for many patients. The access window is shortened because many people already struggle with scheduling issues and lengthy waiting periods for abortions, which make it impossible for many to obtain one in time. Utilizing the 3,000 general aviation airports dispersed across the nation, Elevated Access was created to alleviate those challenges. It recently achieved a milestone by successfully completing its first mission with only female pilots, which involved flying a 1,400-mile relay over 7 states with 2 solo female pilots. It noted that only 6% of pilots in the US are female. The aircraft are unidentified. One of the many problems you face when visiting a typical airport is identification, as not everyone carries a valid ID. Undocumented individuals are welcome, according to Elevated Access spokesperson Fiona. Through partners like Planned Parenthood and the National Abortion Federation, Elevated Access, a referral-only company, connects passengers with pilots. We go out and talk to our pilots and try to find 1 or 2 relevant pilots for that specific trip after the patient care organization accesses the situation and calls us if we seem like a good partner, Fiona explained. Elevated Access pilots must pass a rigorous screening process and have at least 200 hours of pilot in-command experience, which is twice the amount needed to obtain a commercial pilot certificate from the FAA. We also ask for references because of our limited space and checks of the past. We make certain that these people are at ease with our mission, she says. Not everyone wants to do this kind of work for obvious reasons. It's worthwhile though. It is worthwhile because it is fundamentally important to treat people as they need to be treated. For someone going through a lot, it's also more gentle and kind. Flights are paid for by volunteer pilots and passengers are not charged. Pilots purchase fuel and rent aircraft. The majority of volunteers, including engineers, high school teachers, and active duty Air Force officers, are full-time employees. Fiona refers to this as their weekend pastime. A pilot must spend several $100s on fuel for each flight. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.